Hello guys. Expansion just dropped. We got some new cards to play with, and today we're talking about a deck with some new cards. We're talking about Brit Japan Pin. Now, a little history lesson. This deck has been around for ages in numerous iterations. I think most notably competitively Refinement was the first one to play a Brit and Japan Pin deck. In the OCC at least. But then a mysterious Chinese teenager came along named Gorg. And I remember I saw him bring weird decks once at an OCC quals, so I knew his name, and then I queued into him on ladder. And he played this deck I've never seen before, which was the first version of the modern Brit and Japan Pin. And the innovation with that was, your whole goal wasn't to remove stuff with surprise attacks and like efficient removal and stuff. The goal was just to keep your opponent locked into support line for as long as possible, and just win either with the Commonwealth, which was then still around, or just by hitting a few units into the face repeatedly while the other player can do nothing but watch, because he's pinned in the backline and he can't play more units. So that was the big pin revolution, and since then the deck's been played competitively on and off. I think Xyl Lizard won an OCC not too long ago with Brit and Japan Pin. And I decided to talk about this deck because it got some new cards that fit really well into it. I think this is going to be a really good deck, this expansion. And a lot of people don't really understand how to play it. I play against this a bunch, and people just don't seem to get it. That the point of the deck is to keep you board locked in the backline and not just randomly throw out your pin. And people also build it weirdly, where they put in a ton of like win cons, like they run armaments in it, they put lots of big bombers in it and stuff, but all you really need is just units, like normal units. Now, I have included the Cheshire, I think that's how you say it, regiments in this just to try them out. I don't think they're necessary, honestly. I think you can really just run your normal units and you end up winning on board a lot of the time. Another new addition is Desert Dust. Again, just trying out the whole garrison stuff, and it pins, right? You might as well try it. Cromwell, obviously nuts in this deck, not completely new. Black Prince, anything that retreats is insane in this deck, so this slots in this really well. And I think that's it for the new cards. One particular choice I made, because I'm running the garrisons and the Cheshire regiments, I have cut Pioneer in favor of a second aerial recon. I think you do want credit reduction in this deck, just to set up big Crusader turns, get out big board pins earlier and so on. But I think just let's hop into a few games and see how it works. Alright, Japan, let's see. Under Fire is a nice keep, obviously, against Japan. We don't want a Crusader yet, I think. Convoy is alright to keep, but there's better things. Desert Dust is really nice. Though with Japan, they have On the Ascent, which is pretty cracked against the garrison units. Haven't seen much Jagger yet this season. Gonna be interesting to see. Now let's just play into the On the Ascent already. Let's get it over with. That's perfectly fine. I think we could trade this, but this is one damage, right? This doesn't really matter. No, I think there's no reason to be pinning at this point, so we just keep setting up those. Generally, you start pinning around turn like 6, 7. I mean, unless you really have to, right? But ideally you just really want to back climb, lock them right away. If you're not under any like immediate danger to die. But this chip damage is nice. I mean, not much, you know, but Crusader research would be okay. We could underfire second Cheshire because he couldn't deal with them now, and 4 damage would be a lot. Remember, I am running full underfires, and we have hand refill. Maybe it's okay. Underfire is just so good. You could also Crusader research to fill up the hand. You know what? Let's do this. This empties our hand nicely for going off on with Crusader as well. I don't know if that's the best play, but let's try it. Third 35T's file. Oh, it sounds like old Shibata. Now I think we just go off here. Could draw with the convoy honestly as well, but which probably is better on now thinking about it now, because then we have to build a synthetic rubber, we take less damage, but it is what it is. Leaving that one, that's good. Now we can... So if we retreat now and this stays next to HQ, it's fine. The issue just is if the underfire gets hit by this, it dies, and the backline lock is not successful. But I'm not sure. It's completely, what gets sent to hand is completely random. But I think the chance that this just survives and goes there is low. But let's pray this happens, or this. Well, this is the best outcome. Oh fucking hell. I should have probably abandoned the plan. I sent up the full health one because I'm assuming 4 damage is the max he's doing this turn. So he is still backlocked here. And now we can underfire force surrender him if he doesn't kill this. Which would be quite nice. Okay. Now we're gonna see what the deck's actually supposed to do. I think we're gonna put Crusader down just to do face damage here. Tora, it's wild. And if he can deal with that, he's dead, right? That's 4 damage. Yeah, we win. And that's the way this should work. I played a game earlier against, what was it? German-Italy control, and it was fuck. I had the worst time of my life. He played like random countermeasures and like triple off clearing, and it's just hell. But against something like this, the game plan's pretty straightforward. Like it is really important to know when to hold your pin for a bigger turn. where it's going to be more impactful than just holding off some damage to face. Because you can just lock some decks out completely, so you can afford to take some damage. Not sure about the other fire keep. Those two are fine, because you can throw at enemy contact, like that as a little panic pin as well. Now that Sheetan's rotated, I'm not terrified of this turn 1 anymore. It used to be terrifying, but it's not anymore. That turn 2 commit is wild. I think playing Crusader would have been alright as well. But credit denying on turn 2 is crazy. Unless he's Germany with Reichsbank. I think we're just smacking this. No need to pin it right now, we can pin it next turn with Crusader on board. Now I've played Japan burn kind of deck earlier and it was really ass, so I'm not too scared right now. However, it can go off like a lot, so we have to remain vigilant here. If they roll well, it's still kind of crazy. These guys credit denying under no pressure so early though. I'm not sure about that. But who knows? He sees his cards, he knows what he can do and what he can't do. Now, I think we can leave this alive. I think if he runs Cup of Teas and Brit Ally, it's kind of wild. We're not going to assume he does that. So that's terrifying. Now him crit denying to this doesn't matter. And I think we're just going to hold up this for now. We're not immediately under pressure. And we should be able to kill off his... Like I said, he shouldn't be having Cup of Teas. Or health buffs for that matter. So we definitely want to do this. See what we get. And we don't want to overdraw. And the Cheshire doing work. So I'd really like the one, I keep forgetting the name, I think it's Cromwell. The one that silences, oh no, we're at war, sorry, suppresses. No magic, only war. And we can do this, and this should be okay. We have 2 under fires left. Really do want to find Cromwell though, in case he finds some more. But if he's running Grand Plan Sally, maybe he's not running, what's it called? Maybe he does have room for a cup of tea, who knows? Kind of an unorthodox matchup though, but let's see if it works out. Usually this is just as good against board-centric decks. But with the Garrisons and the Cheshires, that's an interesting new dimension to the deck that might be making matchups against stuff like this a lot better. Goes for the Sexton, okay. But he should have a bunch of heal in this deck as well. Let's risk walking to the On the Ascent, I guess. But I mean, he would have played it already, I think, if he had it. Then again, he can go off with, what's it called? One Roof now. Let's see if we get blown out. Alright, let's be back in 10 minutes when he's done with his turn. This music's sick, by the way. It's the International Superstar Soccer soundtrack from the Nintendo 64. Such a good soundtrack. If these die, it's no problem for us, by the way. They're not essential for us to win. It's really going down so low. Ooh, there it is. I think we should have to blow one more for draw. Fuck. I don't think he has suppress. I don't think he needed to do that. And I think blowing that delaying tactics was stupid on our part. But we are getting some face damage in now, which is very nice. And he's very low on cards. Don't want to full commit yet, because he probably has to the last man. Or he might have, honestly. It's not too common in these type of decks. We're safe from On the Ascent. There's no more bombing raid. He probably has more commit the reserves. Oh, night raid to 0k, alright. Yeah, I tried a bunch of these type of decks and they all kind of sucked. I think with Commandos they're even worse than just going Japan, Britain, like, burn. I don't know, it just doesn't feel too good. It's really fragile, and even like if you high roll, it's still, you gotta like really actually kill them in like 1-2 turns, else they just come back. It's kind of a shame. I think they gutted Japan a bit too much this expansion. Another Japan. Alright. Well, let's go for it anyway. Alright, fast Jagger going first. Let's pray. Kinda tempting, but I don't think we do it. Kind of tempting in the way that if we pin this now, it doesn't go up to 3 and it can't kill our Kurame, but I think it's okay. Maybe a big aerial soon as well. Oh, let's see. This is basically a card, isn't it? Not sure if it's worth the underfire. We could just Cromwell silence this. I don't even think the pin was really necessary, honestly. Maybe I should have held off on it. Oh wow. And we, again, the issue with these 1 health units and under fire is that they die off and you can't backlock them. I wish they still had Suse around. Would be a lot more fun and possibly better with that. Let's just see what we get. I think we're saving that for a Crusader turn, possibly. We're definitely gonna roll the retreat. Oh, I was gonna say play the retreat casino here. Let's use the more expensive one because we won't be using our credits. This dies to Winter Regiment, but if I move it up, however, I don't know. I feel like someone who puts a Hayabusa in this deck won't be putting a Winter Regiment in it. Sounds a bit... What? Let's board block. Do I want to go rubber? I think we're still holding on to it. We're doing it raw. Pause. That one, all right. Fuck it. Maybe we should have rubbered sooner, but well, second commit's kind of scary. All right. But we could have killed him off now. He has 2 cards. We have card drawback. We have another card. This was probably one. Now let's try one more and let's try not getting Japan. All right, US. Hell yeah, different nation. With a fancy ass name. Tempting to keep, maybe I will. But keeping all of those is just kind of, because I won't be using them for a while. I think we're tossing the under fire. Of course. Throt maybe? Oh, that's... If it's a really passive deck, this is really good. Let's just keep it rolling. Love to see it. It's just like basically Shibata. You got it against ramp and like really slow stuff. Oof. Rough for him. Let's just keep drawing and put down. Ooh. Short. Do we have anything here? Fireball, okay. Why didn't he play that earlier? Pretty sure he had those. I guess he wanted to ramp first. Fair enough. I want to get the unit down at the risk of walking into a what's it called? Hab. high altitude bombing. If I don't want to overdraw, we could just sexton. I mean, why not? We should find our Matildas. No, Matilda, Cromwell. I keep forgetting that name. I thought this deck was going to be really good last expansion. Credit denial, US-Japan ramp. However, turned out not to be the case. Let's draw. We don't mind him pushing those up, that's why I don't want to pin them yet. Don't want to commit into a Stars and Stripes, so we might just throw out the naval power, not to overdraw. I could move up. Don't have to, honestly. Now we can just trade this and trade the guy that makes retributions. I do not know any card names in this game. Not a military guy, I'm sorry. All these numbers confuse me. Have we got lethal here still? Because under fire can hit face. If he doesn't heal. I feel like he should have done this first. And I feel like he should have command failure to Sexton because it does more damage. However, we're not going to complain about it. So I feel like these were kind of boring games and they didn't like display the deck well. But I mean, if that's what's on the ladder right now, that's what's on the ladder right now. About the deck building, maybe. I mean, you can play them. There's like not much direct damage in this deck, but I don't think you need it. I think it's bait to put in too much direct damage into this. And I think putting direct damage into it kind of misses the whole point of the deck. And you're just kind of weakening your whole board situation in favor of trying to finish them off with burn when you don't really need it. You could put a Wellington in there, honestly. I thought about that. That's like fine. But anything beyond that, I think it's bait. I see people running wave after wave in this, and I think it's okay. But I think you gotta really full commit to the whole pin plan and not run removal in this. Just because, I mean, them having 4 units on board is basically like your one of your conditions you need to have your deck work. It's sometimes nice as a panic button, but I think the deck slot's better spent just going for your pin strategy more. So I think this is a pretty good base to build upon. I'm not claiming this is refined or anything, right? I just threw this together. Black Watches might be good. Corn Guy, he loves running the number 9 commando. Is it number 9? No, number 3 commando. Units with 4 or more attack cannot attack. Pretty nasty in this deck. Depends on the meta though. Against Brit or Jaguar, this can be really dead. Against mid-range Sherman decks, T34 decks. Is it 34 or 35? I don't know. This is really good. So if the meta switches to something more heavy, this is something to consider to lock people out more. But yeah, that's about it, I think. I'm surprised I'm making another cards video. I thought my next card video is going to be the one where I crash out over 1939, but we'll save that for the next one. I wish everyone a nice weekend and see you around.